Well, Eskom is still going to be a subject, a topic of discussion for years to come. And the woes of the power utility still continue. And a major talking point has been this huge bailout that Eskom has been receiving for a number of years. The key question is, are we throwing good money at bad? And is there any light at the end of the tunnel? And this is the reason why we are talking this morning with energy expert Ruse Moleshe. Jose, good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Good morning to you and good morning to Salam Media viewers.
Yes, throwing good money at bad. Eskom over 400 billion in debt, and it's been bailout after bailout after bailout. But what are we getting in return, Jose?
So government is helping Eskom by taking over their debt, which they will pay in a period of over 3 years, total 254 billion. And the reason why they are doing this is because Eskom is an entity that we are all reliant on, because we've put all our eggs in that one basket in terms of the electricity sector. Eskom generates over or supplies over 90% of electricity in the whole country. And we know without electricity, there is no economy. So this is why government persists in trying to help Eskom. The way that this will help is that it will help strengthen Eskom's balance sheet. And in terms of the rating by rating agency, that outlook may be better, which means that Eskom, when they borrow again, they will borrow cheaper. Also, it will help with working capital so that Eskom is able to do the operations, the maintenance that they need to do, which they have not been able to do adequately in the past. But I agree with you, if we throw money at Eskom without doing other things like governance, strengthening systems within Eskom, then it will be a waste of time. However, if the new board, as they promise, to turn around the operations within the entity, there may be a chance for Eskom to recover in over time, of course, not quickly.
Yes. Now, obviously, the government has now taken responsibility for Eskom and its debt repayments. But it is clear that there are conditions attached. But the key issue here is the enforcement of these conditions, because one of them is to make sure that Eskom is set on a path of sustainability, Jose.
Yes, the problem is that monitoring. So in terms of the National Treasury, they are required to report quarterly to Parliament regarding the compliance, regarding the conditions of whether they are being met or not. So that is the mechanism that will be used to monitor that. And remember that also the full amount will not go in year one. So it will be 2023, 24, 2024, 25, 25, 26. So it will not all go in one go. So therefore, in terms of compliance, I'm pretty sure Eskom, they want to get the second tranche, they will have to comply with what National Treasury has given them as conditions.
Yes. Now we've also heard about the increase to Eskom employees, and that has been a much debated subject or a discussion that has taken place on the justification, considering where Eskom is at this point in time. Eskom is showing a loss; it is not showing profits, and just how justified would that increase be, Jose?
It's a difficult balance for Eskom to meet, because on the one hand, if you want to retain the skills that you require, you have to make sure that you retain the people that will give you the most. Because very often when you don't do that, you don't maintain the required skills, you have the wrong people remaining within the organization. But it should, as you correctly point out, it should go hand in hand with ensuring that the performance at Eskom improves, and that there are checks and balances to make sure that we get value for money as citizens.
Yes. Now, you are talking about performance, and that performance until now leaves much to be desired, Jose. If we look at the corruption within Eskom. If when one looks at even the sabotage that has been taking place, so clearly there are major issues, operational issues, the instability within Eskom, Andre de Reuter, his resignation, and just right at the top, there are just so many issues, and the question is, how long? How long can we wait as the public, as citizens of this country, for Eskom to actually get its act together?
I think that it will take us a relatively long time, not less than 2 years minimum, to see improvement. However, with the new board that was appointed, remember that Eskom had a vacancy of over 7 board members previously. There's a new board that has been put in place. They have put together a plan where they have put targets to turn around, particularly on operations. And for 2023-2024, they've put in the energy availability factor, meaning availability of the plants, coal-fired power plants, to be increased from just around 50% or above, slightly above 50% to 60%, which they recently met. And they are looking at 65% the following year and at 70% the third year. So we at least can hold them accountable to those targets that they've met. And in terms of the board subcommittees, I think they've divided them into 6. One of them concentrate on human capital. One of them concentrate on getting a handle on financials, budgets, and all of that. So all of those things are things that we can at least hold the board accountable for as the public and as the shareholder representative, Department of Public Enterprises.
Yes. Now, also, while this bailout may be good news for Eskom and they don't have to worry about debt and debt servicing costs, and the fact that the government is taking over this debt onto their balance sheet, means that that money needs to come from somewhere. And at the end of the day, it is still you and I, the taxpayer, that is going to be paying for the servicing of this debt, because this obviously can only come from one source, government borrowing money, raising funds. And this is where this money is actually going to come from. So, as taxpayers, as citizens, at the end of the day, it's not a win situation for us. It may be a win-win situation for Eskom, but definitely for the not for the taxpayer, because this money is going to come out of the pockets of the taxpayer.
I would agree with that. It's not a win for us because also with respect to the tariff, Eskom is looking for a cost reflective tariff. They are looking to increase the tariff that they're getting, which comes from us as the citizens. I think that is a lesson for us as citizens to not sit back when we see corruption happening, because it does not, when corruption happens, it takes a long time for it to be visibly or felt by us, but the impact is quite bad. So I think citizenry in South Africa should see themselves as part of government and be able to say no when the corruption happens.
Well, Jose, thank you very much for that. And as always, an absolute pleasure having you with us right here on Solar Media. We thank you for your time this morning. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Energy expert Ruse Moleshe with us this morning against the background of Eskom receiving this bailout over a 3-year period. The time is just gone 20 minutes past 8. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back.